guys, Jeff Van here, Azure Lane Nelson on the screen. Big 7 perk is my new way of rolling with these British lines. We're in the hood. Again, jumping right into this one. No need to waste, 25 seconds worth of sailing. So, quickly back to Azure Lane Nelson. Let's talk about why I got Big 7 on there. I know if you go back to my previous videos where I think I actually was in the hood again, I talked about why I am not a big fan of Big 7. And I believe after some experimenting and going back and forth, I've come to the conclusion. And this one is basically just, it's not set in stone. Again, as the game changes, as the ships in the game changes, the way the game is played changes. Obviously, so do the tactics, right? Situation dictates tactics, not the other way around. So, based on the current situation of the game, I think Big 7 works. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because, number one, there's a lot of light cruisers out there in the game. Now, you see here, this game is very evenly matched. 3 destroyers, 3 cruisers, 3 battleships, right? Very rare to have this evenly matched of a game, okay? But I want to talk about the issue for battleship players, and that is those light cruisers that either overpen or, basically what I'm saying is with those light cruisers in a battleship, you struggle to do legitimate heavy hitting AP standard pen and or citadel damage, right? Because you get a lot of overpens and that's it. What I think that this does, this Big 7 perk, with the natural shell characteristics of the British line, you get a shell type that is devastating to light cruisers. You're not going to get the citadels because that's just not the meta and that's not the way that those ships, are damaged. But what you will get is you will get a lot of standard penetrations. So you get about 4K worth in those standard pens. Now, to me, if I can sit there and consistently deal damage to something that's going to be the downfall of me because of the HE that's going to be slinging and or AP on the chance that you're fighting a Fiji or a Edinburgh, right? Or some of these other like lighter cruisers that have solid AP. I just mentioned those because those are obviously the light cruiser line of the British, and they're strictly AP focused. Now again, those are not going to have the same effect because Fiji you can do standard damage to and really punish with this normal battleship shell characteristics. But more so, I'm talking about, and you see there, I'm going to take a big chunk salvo. Yeah, Kansas caught me there. That's a ship that I did a video on last week. Great ship. I would recommend going through that line now, especially with that being the final prize at Tier 7. It's a great battleship, and yeah. So again, back to the hood and why I have a Big 7 on Nelson. Your American light cruisers like that, you are going to struggle to do that damage too. Now again, see, I missed because I missed a little high. I was anticipating him to keep sailing, but again, I got 2 overpens and 1 standard pen, and that was 7K. So with this setup here, you get the extra damage, right? Raw damage on those shells, and it adds up, okay? It does add up. So what I'm saying is you're basically going to get a ship, okay, a battleship that is more focused on its anti-cruiser role than it is on battleship engagement. But that being said, even in those battleship engagements, you're going to have an opportunity, okay? You're going to notice the way when I shoot at these battleships how I'm shooting. I'm not aiming for the waterline. And a lot of people are going to say, well, you're not giving yourself chances to hit the citadel. You got to aim waterline. I disagree, okay? And then Kansas is going to, I think, send another salvo out here and catch me. But, people say, oh, you got to aim waterline. I don't think so. Reason why I say that is because if I aim on the belt, okay, slightly above the belt, not on the deck, but on that belt line there, I'm going to do substantial standard penetration damage. And over the course of time, if I'm hitting you for 10, 12, 14K on salvos, who needs a citadel when I'm hitting you for that, right? So I'm firmly in the belief that this ship and the entire British line should be played if you have Nelson with the Big 7 perk. There isn't a situation out here that I have seen where I felt exclusively that the Big 7 perk was the reason why I wasn't able to either deal damage or I was ricocheting shells, things like that. I don't know. That's my opinion. Again, like I said, I could be 100% wrong on this. You could have a great argument as to why you should never use the Big 7 perk, similar to maybe the one I gave earlier on. You know, I respect people's different tastes in this game, and you know, again, in my opinion, I just like the way it plays. I think it highlights and emphasizes the strength of the British, which is it's their HE shells. You know, you're getting a massive increase to HE raw shell damage, and I think the short fuse already on these, if you make it obviously shorter, now you're really turning into an anti-cruiser battleship line, and you can be very, very intimidating to enemy cruisers. So that's kind of where I sit with that. But in general, I would say that, again, I'm going back to what I said earlier. I don't think that I have noticed in a game where I've said, oh, wow, yeah, there's the Big 7 perk and the reduction in penetration on the shells. I'm definitely in a bad way with that. So, again, just some food for thought here. So we're pushing in toward this Nelson. There's a Fiji out here as well. And we're basically trying to... We took this E-cap. Okay, you saw that we ended up getting the cap. It's always good as a battleship when you can get a cap. Okay, it just shows that you're really in there. You're trying to do your job. You're trying to be a good teammate. You're going to see at the end that the XP adds up. Okay, battleships in this game, if you're getting caps, you're going to be rewarded immensely in the end of the game with the XP. Just a food for thought, you know, guys, take what you want. You saw there where I was aiming, right? Was it waterline? No, it's slightly above waterline, and we did what? 4 standard pens, 3 shatters, and 3 ricochets. But again, 4 standard penetrations. That was what? 16k, 15k maybe, something like that. I don't know. Don't hold me to it, but you know, I didn't really notice exactly what the damage ticker was, but saw a lot of chunk damage there. Got lucky there that Fiji's torps ran out. Fiji's going broadside. Okay, we're sending a salvo out. I think I'm going to hit a little far back on the bow. I am. And again, we had 3 overpens and 1 standard pen on the bow, 8k. All right, so maybe that added into the fact that if I didn't have the Big 7 perk, maybe it would have been 4 overpens, or you know, I don't know. Again, very hard to quantify that reduction in penetration damage, things like that. So, just again, a thought. That's kind of where I'm at. I think it works. I think it helps out against light cruisers. I think it makes my battleships that much more effective against cruisers. And ultimately, that's your job in this game as a battleship player. Your job is to deny access to areas and punish cruisers and protect your destroyers. That's your job. That is it in a nutshell. So, you know, just something to look at there. And then again, you saw we had 1 pan of penetration. Obviously, that's because that was the first shell that hit. We ended up getting a Citadel off of it and taking out the Fiji. So, 3 enemies left here. We're up on a 5-3 ship advantage. Kansas is running away because he's being shot at by multiples. Prince Eugen was over here. And then the destroyer, I don't know where the destroyer is, but we do know right now that we are down 2 caps to 1. So that being said, if you're down 2 caps to 1, you're gonna have to, regardless of what they do, get onto that second cap. Okay, you've heard me talk about this for the last, I don't even know, forever. Okay, since I've been putting YouTube legends up, I've been talking about the importance of good team play, getting onto caps, pushing caps, and basically punishing people for their play when they don't play like that. Because when you do play like that, you're going to win a lot more games. And when you don't, well, you're not going to be winning as many games, okay? Be the thing that you want to see in the game, right? So I'm saying I want to see more team play. I want to see more people push caps. I want to see that. So what am I going to do? It's my job to push caps. It's my job to engage in those caps. Obviously not blindly, because if you're doing it blindly, you're going to end up paying the price. You see here, Prince Eugen pushing a little bit around that corner. I just want to know. I want you to note something here. The hood is great, in my opinion, because of its relative good agility, decent speed, and its ability to basically fight out of the kiting position. Okay, keep that in mind for this upcoming future engagement, because you're going to see what happens when you try to chase down a hood. So before I spoil this future engagement anymore, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut on that. Venom pops up here. We're trying to knock him out. And again, I saw those torps pop up, so we're turning in hard. Right? So what do we see? And there goes Venom. Okay. Again, short fuse, right? I don't know. I mean, they were over pens, but still. Maybe on the off chance you get a standard pen on a heavily armored destroyer. I don't know with all that reduction. But even then, you still get that massive raw increase. So your shells are more dangerous, okay, even on over pens, because the over pens are what, 10% of your standard shell damage. So if I have whatever the percentage increase is, even on those over pens, I'm going to end up getting an extra 100 or whatever so damage. And again, against a destroyer that only has 9, 10, 12, 14 if they're running Sims K HP. An extra 100 could be a big deal. So, just a thought process there. Eugen's going to come around this corner. I'm trying to catch him. You see there, I'm preloading the turn. Okay? Yes, I am stopped, but I am preloading that turn. And we send a salvo out. We get 5 standard pens, 2 over pens, and you saw the damage ticker there. Now, obviously, Eugen's got torps. I know that's what he's going to be trying to do here. So, you see, we are turning out. Okay? Good job on the friendly destroyer. Ended up capping it. But look at what happened to our ship count and our ship advantage. Okay, this is a 2-2 game. If this Eugen is able to get torpedoes off and take me down, we're gonna lose this game. We're down in score. Okay, we are even on ship count. So again, we're preloading the turn, right? We're basically pushing ourselves on the brink where I can flick that rudder. And then the torp's going to go right by. And there it goes. By the skin of our teeth, okay? Again, this Eugen is trying to chase me down. He knows what this game is going to come down to. This game's going to come down to the fact that can we, okay, end up taking down this Eugen and stay alive? If I can stay alive here, okay, then we have a great advantage because, obviously where we're at in the game. Okay, we're down by 20, so we would get the lead back. We'd have a cap advantage. We'd have a 2-ship-to-1 advantage, and they'd only have a battleship left. So again, that Eugen tried to open the door here and tried to get some more torps off, and we're just kiting away. We're in a good, solid fighting position. We're gonna punish him again. And we're gonna take him down. Okay, that's a full health Eugen when we started that engagement, and we lost about 20k for that whole engagement. And again, there was some decision making that was done there on that Eugen's part. I understand the aggressive play. It's a smart play. Okay, that's the right play by him to try to push, be aggressive, and try to knock me out. Because again, most people would have gone down to those torpedoes. Okay, if you're not pre-turning, if you're not anticipating torpedoes being in the water, I would have been dead. Okay, so I'm not saying I'm a great player. I'm an above average player, slightly above average, but when you play the game a lot and you kind of get an idea what somebody's going to do against you, you can preemptively take evasive maneuver and win. You saw there earlier, about a couple seconds ago, I was pinging the corner of the map. I want this destroyer to go away. Sail to the corner of the map. Why? Well, right now we do have enough of a lead where if I were to go down, it doesn't matter. But I don't want to take that chance. I don't want to take a chance of for some reason he starts shooting his guns, he gets a salvo off, and then one more salvo and the last death breath, he sends one at me, he kills me or whatever. Okay, so again, force sinking is 120k damage, just showing the power of the Big 7 perk, I believe, and Hood in general. If you liked the video, leave it a like, guys. We'll see you guys out on the high seas. 3k XP for this game.